you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The Scotch, what a verminous race. A racist poem that calls for the comprehensive extermination of the Scots. A poem that the current Prime Minister thought merited being published when he was editor of The Spectator. We know the Prime Minister thinks a pound spent in Croydon is of better value to the country than a pound spent in Strathclyde. That's his view of our place in the Union. We've already heard Honourable Member for Dudley North telling us to be grateful for what we get. Now, the Prime Minister also previously suggested it's English subsidies that pay for Scottish government policies such as free personal care, free tuition fees, and he's also called for the abolition of the Barnett formula. And it's not long ago that the Prime Minister also told Tory backbenchers that devolution was Tony Blair's biggest mistake and a disaster. So it's both bizarre and pathetic how the Scottish Tories defend this man and defend his attitudes. He tried to lose with the Union Bridge, but we didn't need the feasibility study to tell us it was a stupid idea and couldn't be done. But meanwhile, while he could try and find money for his vanity project, the Scottish carbon capture cluster, the most advanced project, has been ditched in favour of 2 clusters in the north of England, targeted at the Red Wall seats. So yet again, that's our place in the Union, according to the Prime Minister. Now, this is also the Prime Minister that helped inflict Brexit on us, a man happy to be in a bus with the slogan that it was a downright lie, a Leave campaign that broke the rules in the use of data, a campaign party funded by dark money.
Point of order, but I do feel quite strongly that I just don't want the debate constantly interrupted by points of order, that if there are matters for debate.
Madam Deputy Speaker, on a point of order, I do have to ask your advice as a new Member of Parliament. Is it acceptable in this House to say lie and accuse a member of lying?
There are particular circumstances of this debate where language that would you may not have been in at the beginning, but the Chairman of Ways and Means made very clear that some of the normal language that could be used is allowed because of the nature of this motion. Alan Brown.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. For the record, the slogan in the bus was a downright lie. This is a Prime Minister that gave us illegal prorogation of Parliament and was willing to break international law. This is a Prime Minister who clearly doesn't respect democracy and is seeking to further undermine it. We've got the voter ID being introduced, lifetime votes for expats because he thinks expats are more likely to vote Tory, giving himself the power to call an election, the attack on the Electoral Commission, the privatisation of Channel 4, the attempts to install Paul Darker as chair of Ofcom, the secret Freedom of Information Clearinghouse. All these matters are further levers to manipulate and hold on to power. And this is a man who once conspired to have a reporter beaten up, a man who was sacked from his job as a journalist for lying in a story. And of course, as we've heard, he continues to stuff the House of Lords with cronies and donors. And it was outrageous that at the Liaison Committee he suggested this was needed to be done to counteract the power of trade unions. It also explains why he rushed to the defence of own parts and overpaid lobbying. Madam Deputy Speaker, so many of my constituents ask me how I can put up the antics in here, but one thing I can tell the Tories opposite, it's driving people towards independence.